What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Welcome back to the channel. So I have built myself a budget Pearl GPU mining rig for under $500, and over the last 30 days it's made over $75 in profit, putting us at about an 8-month ROI if everything stayed the same. But things are changing pretty quickly, especially over the last week with Pearl mining. So today I want to take you through that, have a look at the parts, have a look at the price of what's currently happening, and we're even going to give away some Pearl somewhere throughout the video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So to start, let's look at some of the parts that are involved with this. Now, these aren't all the exact same branded parts, but what we're doing here is looking at the sold section on eBay. So you can see some of the recent pricing that we've got at current prices today. Now, I got a lot of this stuff a fair bit cheaper, particularly the RAM and storage a little while ago. But let's just have a bit of a quick look at what's involved. So to start out, we've got the 16 gigabyte 4060 Ti. Now mine's an MSI 2 fan version, but you can see these are going at the moment on eBay for around $300. Now this is all in USD, so a really good price for a used or pre-owned 4060 Ti. In this particular build, I've got a 5900X. So this is massively overkill for what you need for this type of build. You could use a standard Celeron CPU, which is cost you like $50 or so. But as we said, this is all parts we've had lying around. So even now they're sort of going, we got one at $140 here, one at $85. Around the $100 to $150 mark is a price I saw pretty consistency. This says for parts, so that one doesn't work. This one's gone here for $95. So even if you said now, if you're shopping around $100 for this CPU, that'd still get us within our $500 total. The motherboard, a very basic one. I've got the Asus Prime B450M-A. It's not the 2 version, like you see here, but again, you can use any sort of motherboard for this. You can get these for, the B450Ms for like $30, even cheaper in some cases, but you could spend $10-15 and get a second-hand motherboard for this particular build. Now, RAM has been very expensive lately, but fortunately, again, you don't need much for this. All you're doing is running HiveOS. You can get away with, an 8 gigabyte stick or even a 16 gigabyte stick here of your SODIMM RAM for, $15. Another one here for $10. That's an 8 gigabyte stick. Very cheap. You don't need much going on with this GPU mining. We also need some storage, which again, you can get 128 gigabyte. You could even get less, way less. You can pick these up for about $20 as well. Doesn't need to be anything fancy or anything fast. For these GPU mining rig builds, the only advantage of having a faster SSD is going to be your upgrade time, right? So how quickly you can upgrade HiveOS, install drivers, things like that. The power supply, because this GPU is only 170, I think, TDP, the CPU is about 100, it's 240. You can get away with a 400 watt power supply, which is what we've got in there, or a 500 watt power supply. Again, $30 to $50 depending on what you wanted to spend. $25 right here again as well. This was a couple of months ago, but if you're buying a budget build and you're trying to make one cheap, secondhand parts are going to be the direction you'll have to go. But of course, they come with their own risks and no warranty. The last part I've got on this build is my favorite cooler, the Assassin Thermalright V2 Spirit or Spirit V2, the 120. I've got the 2 fan version, secondhand. These are brand new, $23. You can get them for $10, $15 on eBay as well. So all up, all of these parts well within that 500 USD price point. Let's move on over now to look at the earnings over the last 30 days. Now, as I've got this rig on the same pool and wallet as all of my other rigs or my 5090s, we have to do a little bit of maths, but it's very simple, and I'm going to break it down for you very quickly. I'm not going to bore you with the numbers because people don't like to see all of that sort of stuff. Also, I've found I've recently done this video, which I'll link down below, showing that my mining farm had made over $1,500 mining Pearl in the last 25 days. But for the sake of today's video, we're going to call it 30 days, right? Just to make it a little bit easier. So I know that if we said we had $1,450 right there, my 4060 Ti share of that profit is about 5%. It's about 5% of the hash rate. So we went $1,450. We divided it by 100, to give us 14.5, and we times it by 5. That's 72.5 US dollars it's made in the last month. But as we said in the intro, things have changed a little bit with the pricing, right, of Pearl, because Pearl has gone down in price and the hash rate has gone up. So we'll look at that in a sec. Just for a bit more information, as far as electricity, I have solar and a battery, so my expenses are very, very low. My electric rate ends up really, really good, even in winter. So to find out exactly what that cost us in electricity a month, we'd simply take the wattage, we would times that by 24, we divide that by 1,000. Now this gives us our kilowatt hours per day. We times that by 30, that's per month. Then we times that by our effective 24-hour kilowatt rate, which for me works out to about 7.5, 8 cents with my solar and my battery. The $10 a month in electricity we spent on that, you know, so the 72.5 minus the 10, so about $62.50 it's earned in that last sort of 30 days. But the last week or so has been very different. So let's jump on over now and have a look at what it's actually earning as of right now. All right, so very quickly before we move on to the next section, let's talk about this giveaway. We're going to be giving away $10 US worth of Pearl in 7 days from this video release. Now, we'll release the winner in a community post, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've got notifications on so you can be aware when that community post is live. All you're going to have to do to enter this challenge is enter down in the comments below your biggest and best piece of advice for beginners in crypto mining or building budget rigs or any rigs in general. I want this to be able to help people, right, and give a little something back for when you do. So your best piece of advice for either building rigs or the best lesson you've learned with GPU mining over your experience. Good luck, guys. Let's get back to the video. So right now we're looking at my last withdrawal where I cashed this out. So this was on the 1st of the 7th, which is pretty much 4 days ago exactly, to the hour, pretty much right where we are now. And as we can see, we've earned $90.87. But I was actually testing another coin in that period for probably about 15-20% of that time. So what we're going to do to figure out exactly what we've earned off this 4060 Ti specifically is again crunch some of the numbers, right? And then you can take out the electricity after that. I'm just going to show you the revenue at this point. So if we said we had 90.8 and we times it, maybe let's just add 10% just to be sparing. Basically $100 over the last 4 days. We already know that's about $20 a day. I'll divide that by 4. $24.97 a day is what we've been earning in Pearl. Now I've got about 2 petahash or so on Pearl, but again, we know about 5% of those earnings have come from the 4060 Ti, which is 24 cents times 5, so about $1.24 a day. This has been making, which, you know, monthly is about half as much as we made in the previous 30 days combined. Now, why is that? Let's have a look at a few of the different reasons going on here. The price of Pearl has just, especially over the last week or so, has almost dropped in half, right? A lot of big farms have come online and they're selling off a lot of their Pearl, in particular Cryptex. I think in the last like 8 hours or so, the network hash rate has gone up another like 15% just on that, whatever farm came online alone. We can see the price is definitely becoming an issue here for Pearl. You know, we were at 45 cents just 2 days ago, already down to 38 cents. You know, and this sort of pattern has just been repeating and repeating. A big fall from the $1.42 that we were at a little while ago. And you can see this hash rate reflection as well, right? So even if we said 2 days ago, we were at 29 equihash, we're now at 35.57. So another 15 to 20% hash rate increase there as well. And we can see it up here all the way up to, 35 equihash. So things are definitely changing. BearMarketMiner here has got our sort of estimate at about what we've been earning, a little bit better. But things are starting to look a little bit bleaker for Pearl. It's one of those things. Was it fun while it lasted? Well, it's still going for me. I'm still, really profitable, far more profitable GPU mining now than I have been in years. Hopefully this can last a little bit longer. So would I build this if I had to buy all of the parts right now? Most likely not, right? Even at current prices now, you're still looking, probably at 1.5 years to break even if nothing changed. Now, of course, the caveat to that is the Pearl price could go up, but like anything, and as we always say, it's a huge gamble. You never know if you're going to make your money back on this. But if you already had, budget rigs, even things, cheaper than the 4060 Ti, like 3070s, if you've got a decent electric rate, they're still profitable. So turn them on, guys, and get that Pearl while you can. So as always, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you like the video, please like the video. Also got a Discord, which is linked in the description below. If you need any more information, come in there. There's a lot of people in there, a lot smarter than I am, can point you in the right direction. I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.